Master Deputy Wolf, you're still under oath.
Yes, sir.
So, did you become involved in the harassment investigation regarding all those photos?
Yes, sir, I did.
How did you get involved in that?
During the murder of Christina Parcell, I obtained a search warrant for Zachary Hughes's Gmail account, which would include his emails. After I received his emails, I became involved in that investigation.
Now, how did you locate his Zachary Hughes's email?
When we did the search warrant at 200 Tyndall Avenue, we seized his cell phone. A cell phone extraction was done on that device, and we were able to determine what email address he used on his cell phone.
And then once you obtained that email address, what did you do?
I then obtained a search warrant for the email address. Since I knew that Mr. Hughes had been in communication with John Mello, John Mello's overseas, they obviously have to communicate through electronic means.
And in those emails, were there also email addresses for John Mello as well?
Yes, sir.
And did you obtain a search warrant for John Mello's email?
Yes, sir, I did.
Do you recall the email address that you sent the search warrant off to Google?
For John or
For Zachary Hughes.
it's zachary.david.hughes@gmail.com.
And what about Mello?
John at milestonemusic@gmail.com.
And did Gmail or Google return emails to you as a result of that search warrant?
Yes, sir, they did.
And were you able to review those emails?
Yes, sir, I was.
And by reviewing those emails, were you able to confirm that it was in fact this Zachary David Hughes and the John Mello that we're talking about in this case?
Yes, sir.
What was the basis of that?
So when we receive somebody's Google information, we obtain more than just emails. We get account information they provide Google, such as their name, phone numbers, addresses. If they allow Google to back up photos, for example, Mr. Mello in his Google account, I have photos of himself and his daughter that he took that allowed Google to back up.
That Google sent you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Were there any conversations among those emails?
Yes, sir, there were.
And were those conversations between John Mello and Zachary Hughes?
Yes, sir.
And were you able to determine that it was in fact this Zachary Hughes and the John Mello we're talking about in this case?
Yes, sir.
What were they talking about?
Christina Parcell, they were referring to her as Sweet Caroline Warren.
Number. right, Master Deputy Wolf, I'm going to show you States Exhibits 166 and 165 and see if you recognize those documents.
Yes, sir, I do.
What is States Exhibit 166?
This is a certification of authenticity from Google verifying the records I obtained were from the Google account zachary.david.hughes@gmail.com.
And you got that email off of Zachary Hughes' phone when you reviewed it?
Yes, sir.
And what about States Exhibit 165?
This is the same document, except this was received when I received John Mello's Google information at john@milestonesound@gmail.com.
And how did you locate that Gmail?
That was through communications that Mr. Hughes was having. They were sharing emails.
Our state moves States 166 and 165 into evidence.
No objection. No objection, 166 and 165.
Now, let's back up a little bit. So when you received this information, what information did you receive from Google when you sent off the search warrant for Zachary David Hughes' Gmail and John Mello's email?
So it depends on what email, or excuse me, what information, what data each individual user allows Google to track. So in this case, emails, it could be pictures, phone contact list backup, location data, Google voice messages, anything along those lines, that any information that Google stores on you.
And then when you get emails, is it just a big stack of emails, or do you have to put them in a computer? How is it given to you, and how are you able to just read emails?
So they give it to you in a file that they call Inbox, and then you have to put it into another program called Thunderbird to be able to view the emails.
And did you do that in this case?
Yes, sir, I did.
And as a result of putting it into Thunderbird, were you able to review the emails between Zachary Hughes and John Mello?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to show you States 167. States Exhibits 167. I'll ask you if you identify that.
Yes, sir. This is an external drive that contains the emails, the raw data I received from
And
Google.
have you reviewed this?
Yes, sir, I have.
Is that your initials?
Yes, sir, it is.
So this is the raw data that you received from Google?
Yes, sir.
State moves Exhibit 167 into evidence.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, so back, so when you, thank you, Your Honor. When you get this stuff, did you put this information into Thunderbird?
Yes, sir, I did.
All right. And once you did that, about how many emails do you think you recovered?
For Zachary Hughes, it was a little over 23,000. I don't remember the number for Mr. Mello.
Okay. And then, as part of your duties in this case, did you go through those and sort of create a package of the emails just between John Mello and Zachary Hughes?
Yes, sir, I did.
All right. And between those two, how many emails did you, just between Zach Hughes and John Mello, how many emails do you think you obtained?
Oh, hundreds.
While you were doing that, was there a particular email that brought your attention?
Yes, sir, there was.
going to show you State's Exhibits 167. I'm sorry, 168. I'm going to ask you if you recognize this.
Yes, sir. This is an email that Mr. Mello sent Mr. Hughes on May 16th of 21.
Your Honor, State moves Exhibit 168 into evidence.
No objection. No objection.
All right, I'm going to show you the top of this email. And so can you tell, starting with the forward, what this is?
Yes, sir. This email was forwarded from John Mello to Mr. Hughes. The title is Christina Parcell, a.k.a. Sweet Caroline Warren. You can see that the message where it says forwarded messages, the original message came from Mullins Investigations at protonmail.com.
All right, as part of your investigation into this, did you look into Mullen Investigations?
Yes, sir, I did.
How did you do that?
So I started with just the basic Google search. I found no private investigative company named Mullen Investigations. And then we contacted SLED. In South Carolina, if you're a private investigator, you have to be registered and licensed through SLED. SLED had no record of a Mullins investigation or a private investigator with the last name Mullins.
And so you you never located Mullen Investigations?
As far as I can tell, they don't exist.
And I noticed that it says at protonmail.com.
Yes, sir.
That's significant.
Yes, sir, it is.
How is that?
Proton Mail is a company that's based in Switzerland, where privacy laws are very different. When you create an account there, they don't ask for any of your personal information. They don't comply with our search warrants. We have no way to get any information from them. They make their business off guaranteeing that you're going to stay anonymous.
So if you wanted to create Walt Wilkins at protonmail.com and send emails, would you be able to do that?
Yes, sir.
You would not have to give any of your personal information.
No, sir.
And then you could then represent yourself to be Walt Wilkins at protonmail.com.
Yes, sir.
And have y'all attempted to try to get information from protonmail.com before?
I have not personally. I know of investigators that have in other cases and federal cases. No.
So I'm going to move forward. So what was this? Was this attached to the email?
Yes, sir, it was.
Okay. And what is this?
This is the same advertisement that investigator Bevel covered that was in the packages, the 6 packages that were mailed out, the escort or prostitution advertisement.
And was there a Bella Don Giorno attached to it?
Yes.
Where's that?
Down at the very bottom.
Right there?
Yes, sir.
And then whose name is over here?
Caroline Warren.
Okay. And is this the same photos that we just saw with Detective Bevel?
Yes, sir.
And did you notice anything about how it's with the photo there? Who was in the photo?
Christina Parcell.
And did you notice anything about how it's cut and pasted?
Yes, sir, I did.
What did you notice?
So first thing I noticed is that the margins are off. The photo of Miss Parcell is too far to the left. And then at the top of the advertisement, you can see where it looks like they cut and pasted it, but they left a couple other, where your finger is. Maybe those were letters or some other part of the web page that they just didn't cut off.
Now, on this email, on May 16th, 2021, to Zach Hughes from John Mello. Is that Belladonna DiGiorno-escort.site.com on this picture?
No, sir, it is not.
Nowhere to be seen.
No, sir.
So this photo, you can see the top of it of Christina Parcell right there, is just a photo of Christina Parcell.
Correct.
Nothing else on it.
No, sir.
All right, I'm going to show you the second page of State's Exhibits 168. And what is the top up there?
That shows the title of the forwarded email, Christina Parcell, a.k.a. Sweet Caroline Warren, and then that is Christina Parcell's face.
And is this one of the photos that was in the packages that
Yes,
was
sir.
reviewed?
Yes, sir.
And in this particular photo, is the URL belladonna-escort.site.com on there?
No, sir.
It's nowhere to be seen.
No, sir.
And I go here, best I can. Is that sent with Proton Mail? Sent with Proton Mail?
Yes, sir.
It's a secure email.
Yes, sir.
And then finally, how is it signed?
So that's John Mello's email signature.
All right, can you go through those for us?
Yes, sir. At the top, he's got an address for Milestone Sound in New York City. He lists himself as a house producer and a vocalist with phone numbers. Then he's got an address in South Carolina and Atlanta, Georgia, Torn and Frayed Productions with a P.O. box here in Greenville. And then he's got addresses in Europe and one down there in Italy. What I will note is that the +39 number that ends in 0041, that is the number he was using to communicate through WhatsApp with Mr. Hughes,
And how do you know that?
through reviewing the WhatsApp messages.
So you reviewed WhatsApp messages off of Zach Hughes' phone?
Yes, sir.
And did you confirm that that number right there was the number used by John Mello?
Yes, sir.